नमस्ते विद्यार्थी मित्र मैत्रिणींनो. From chapter arithmetic progression, last time we learned the formulas of Tn and Sn, and today we are going to learn how to apply that formulas to solve our day-to-day life problem, that is application of arithmetic progression. See, in last lecture we learned the formula Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Then we learn two formulas for Sn, sum of n terms. Sn is equal to n upon 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And second formula for Sn is equal to n upon 2 into bracket t1 plus tn. T1 is the first term, tn is the last term. By using these three formulas, you can solve the number of problems from your day-to-day life, that is the application of arithmetic progression. See, first problem we will solve. Practice set 3.4. Question number 1. Read the question twice so that you will come to know what is given and what to find. That is very important thing. See, on 1st January 2016, Sanika decides to save rupees 10, then rupees 11 on second day, rupees 12 on third day. If she decides to save like this, then on 31st of December, what would be her total saving? This is the question. So what is given in this sum? If you observe, you will come to know she decided to save rupees 10 on first day, then 11 on second day, 12 on third day, like this. So from the given condition, from the sum, you will come to know the given sequence is 10, 11, 12 and so on. प्रत्येक दिवशी 1 रुपया तिने पहिल्या दिवसापेक्षा जास्त सेव्ह केलेला आहे. पहिल्या दिवशी रुपीज 10, दुसऱ्या दिवशी 11, तिसऱ्या दिवशी 12, सो ऑन. या पद्धतीने तिने पैसे साठवायला सुरुवात केलेली आहे. So if you observe, the common difference means the difference between two consecutive terms. 11 minus 10 is 1. 12 minus 11 is 1. So common difference is 1, that is constant. So given sequence is an arithmetic progression. So you can say it is AP. And from that arithmetic progression, A is first term, that is 10. B is common difference, that is 1. And given year is 2016. 2016 means it is divisible by 4. So year 2016 is leap year. And you know, in every leap year, one day is extra. In regular year, the total days in a year are 365. But as it is leap year, the total number of days are 366. And what they ask, what would be her total saving? What would be her total saving on 31st of December, means at the year ending? So you have to find the total number of rupees she saved in 366 days. So you have to find Sn. So first you have to select the formula. You have to use either Tn or Sn. In this sum, you have to find the total saving. So we are going to use the formula of Sn is equal to n upon 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So you have to find the saving of her 366 days. You have to find her total saving in a 366 days. So S366 is equal to n upon 2, that is 366 upon 2 into bracket 2 into a means first term, plus n minus 1, n is 366, minus 1 into d, common difference 1. So just substitute the values and do calculation. Here you will get 2 1s are 2 1s are 2, 2 8s are 16, 2 3s are 6. So 183 into bracket 2 into 10 gives you 20 plus 366 minus 1 gives you 365 into 1. So we got 183 into bracket 20 plus 365 ones are 365. So 183 into bracket, here you will get 385 and do this product. 183 into 385 gives you 70,485. 70,455. Sorry, the product is 70,455. So in 366 days, if she saves the 10 rupees on first day, 11 rupees on second day, 12 rupees on third day, like this, if she saves 1 rupees extra than previous day on 366 days or at the end of that year 2016, she would have total saving rupees 70,455. So write the answer. Sanika saved. Therefore, Sanika saved rupees 70,455 in that year 2016. Now see the second sum from same practice set 3.4. See, I am reading the question. Always read the question 2 times in mind so that you will come to know again given things and required things. A man borrows rupees 8,000 and agree to repay with a total interest of rupees 1,360 in 12 monthly installments, each installment being less than the preceding one by rupees 40. Find the amount of the first and last installments. So we'll first note down the things which are given. See, a man borrows rupees 8,000. त्याने 8,000 रुपये उसने घेतलेले आहेत आणि 1,360 व्याजासह तो परत पैसे भरणार आहे. Means the actual amount he has to repay or the amount he repaid is 8,000 principal plus 1,360 is interest. जे व्याजासकट 8,000 अधिक 1,360 बरोबर 9,360 रुपये त्याला परतफेड करायची आहे. Means the amount he has to repay is 9,360. So this is the value of SN, sum of n terms. Now he is going to repay this much amount in 12 monthly installments. Therefore the number of installments means the value of n is 12. So you can take the amount he has to pay in 12 installments means S12 is 9,360 and total number of installments means n is equal to 12. And what is given in the question? Each installment being less than the preceding one by rupees 40. प्रत्येक installment ही पहिल्यापेक्षा 40 रुपयाने कमी आहे. Means common difference D will be minus 40. Let's understand the meaning of this wording. Each installment being less than the preceding one by rupees 40. म्हणजे पहिल्या हप्त्यापेक्षा पुढचा हप्ता हा 40 रुपयाने कमी असणार आहे. म्हणजे उदाहरणार्थ पहिला हप्ता जर 100 असेल तर दुसरा 40 रुपयाने कमी म्हणजे 60 रुपये असणार. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी T2 मायनस T1 जर घेतलं तर 60 वजा 100 उत्तर येणार आहे वजा 40. म्हणून या ठिकाणी आपण कॉमन डिफरन्स घेतलेला आहे -40. हे उदाहरण फक्त आपण अंदाजे घेतलेलं आहे, आपल्याला माहित नाहीये की त्याने हप्त्याचा ऍक्च्युअल हप्ता किती असणार आहे. सो D is -40 and what they ask, find the amount of the first and last installment. Means find the first installment means T1. T1 means A and find the last installments that is T12 because you decided to repay that amount in 12 installments. So as S12 is known, we are going to use the formula of Sn to solve this sum. first I told you have to decide the formula. So I will decide to use formula of Sn. You know Sn is equal to n upon 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This is the formula. Sn, sum of 12 terms, because in 12 installments he is going to repay that total amount 9,360. So how much amount he has to pay? Sum of n terms 9360. N means number of installments are 12 upon 2. 2 into a will remain as it is, because first installment you have to find the first installment. T1 is not known, so a as it is, into n minus 1, that is 12 minus 1, into d is minus 40. Use d, value of d is minus 40, because each installment is less by 40. Word less means here minus 40. If each installment is increased, then you can take plus 40. So here value of d is minus 40. Now simplify. Here 2 1s are 2, 2 6s are 12. So 9360 is equal to 6 into bracket 2a plus 12 minus 1 gives you 11 into minus 40. Do this product first. So 9360 into 6 will become upon 6. I shifted 6 over here, into 6 become upon 6 is equal to, inside the bracket here 2a plus into minus gives you minus, 11 into 40 gives you 440. Now simplify. 9360 divided by 6. Do that division first. 9360 divided by 6 gives you 1560. See, 6 ones are 6, 6 ones are 6. 9 minus 6 is 3, 33. 6 5s are 30. 3 is the remainder, 6 6 are 36. 0 as it is. So 1560 is equal to 2a minus 440. Take constant at one side and variable to the other side. So if you shift here, you will get 1560 plus 440 is equal to twice a. I kept 2a to the RHS and shifted minus 440 here, it will become plus. So do this addition. 1560 plus 440 addition gives you 2000 is equal to 2a. So 2000 upon 2 is equal to a. After simplification, you will get a is equal to 10. A means first installment. You have to find first installment is equal to rupees 1000. So while repaying this much amount 9360, the first installment he has to pay is rupees 10,000, and then by rupees 40 every installment get reduced. And again they ask find the last installments, that is T12 also they ask. So to calculate the T12 last installment, definitely it will be less than 1000 rupees, because first installment 1000 rupees, then second will be less by 40, means it will be 960 rupees, right? Less by 40, then it will be 920, like that, so on. So in order to find the last installment, we will use Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. So last installment means you have to substitute n is equal to 12. Now substitute the values. A means first installment, just you calculated 1000, plus n 12 minus 1 into d minus 40. Simplify. 1000 plus here 11 into minus 40. Plus into minus gives you minus. 11 into 40 gives you 440. So 1000 minus 440 gives you 560. So the last installment is equal to rupees 560. So you have to write the answer. First installment is equal to rupees 1000 and last installment will be rupees 560. Like this you have to do this sum by using the formula of SN. Now let us see the third sum. See, I am reading the question. Third sum from practice set 3.4. There is an auditorium with 27 rows of seats. There are 20 seats in the first row, 22 seats in the second row, 24 seats in the third row, and so on. Find the number of seats in the 15th row and also find the total number of seats in the auditorium. So first prepare a sequence. What is given? In the first row there are 20 seats. There are totally 20 seats. Then in the second row there are 22 seats. In the third row there are 24 seats. Like this there is a one auditorium and totally there are 27 rows. Means 1, 2, 3, there are totally 27 rows. So in the first row there are 20 seats. In the second row there are 22 seats. In the third row there are 24 seats. So if you observe, A is equal to 20, first term. Common difference T2 minus T1. 22 minus 20 is 2. T3 minus T2. 24 minus 22 is 2. Means common difference D is 2, that is constant. So given sequence is an arithmetic progression, you can see. And what they ask, then find the number of seats in the 15th row. Means 1, 2, 3, like this you have to find the total number of seats in the 15th row. Means you have to find T15. T1 is 20, T2 is 22, T3 is 24. Like this you have to find the number of seats in the 15th row. Means T15 is equal to question mark. Again second thing they ask, also find the total number of seats in the auditorium. So in the total auditorium, how many seats are there? So you have to find S27. Total number of seats. You have to add. In the first row 20 seats. In second row 22. 20 plus 22 plus 24. Like this. You have to add all the seats till 27th row. Don't consider 15. They ask the number of seats in the 15th row, means T15 you have to find, and total number of seats in the auditorium means there are totally 27 rows. See, there are totally 27 rows. So you have to add all the chairs from that auditorium. So you have to add all the chairs from row 1st to 27. So you have to find S27. So all you understood what is given and what you have to find. So we use formula. First they ask T15, number of chairs in the 15th row. Correct? So use the formula of Tn. See, Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. You have to find the number of seats in the 15th row. So n is equal to 15. T15 you have to find. A means first term, that is 20, plus n minus 1, that is 15 minus 1. Common difference D is 2. So 215 is equal to 20 plus 15 minus 1 gives you 14 into 2. So you got T15 is equal to 48. Means there are 48 seats in the 15th row. Means first row 20 seats, 22 seats, third row 24 seats, like that. In the 15th row you will get 48 seats. You don't know the number of seats in the 27th row. It is not asked. If they ask, then you can calculate T27. But it is not asked. They ask the total number of seats in the auditorium. So you have to find S27. You have to find S27. So we will again use the formula of Sn. N by 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So find S27. Put n is equal to 27. In the bracket 2 into a, the value of a is 20. Plus n minus 1, take here n means 27, S27. Minus 1 into common difference is 2. So 27 upon 2 into bracket 2 into 20 is 40. Plus 27 minus 1 gives you 26 into 2. So 40 plus 26 2s are 52. Do that addition and simplify. 27 upon 2 into bracket, or here is the sign of multiplication, and this addition will be 92. Simplify. 2 1s are 2 4s are 8, 2 6s are 12, that is 27 into 46. Do that product. 27 into 46 gives you 1242. 1242 means you got S27 is equal to 1242. And then write down the answer at the end. Therefore, what they ask, the total number of seats in the 15th row are 48, and the total number of seats in the auditorium are 1242. Like this, you have to mention the answer at the end. So we learned today few sums from practice set 3.4, which are related with the application of arithmetic progression. Thank you.